everybody, it is Rooster coming to you from out here on I-40, headed from Springdale, Arkansas down to Macon, Georgia right now. It's been a little bit hectic of a week, but we're still out here, and hopefully it's gonna end pretty good. Got started on Tuesday, picked up a load in Garland whenever I was coming out of the house, and didn't end up getting that on last week's or yesterday's pay, but I did start the week out really good. And for Friday, I only ended up having to pay about $600 out of my emergency fund to leave home because I had about $700 and something of back detention pay from some previous loads. So that's always good. I was really thinking that I was about to have to make that full expense payment without making any money. And I even stayed home a few extra days, but ended up working out for me, so yeah, I still had to pull out of the emergency fund, which I don't like to do. That's why I normally come home on a Saturday and leave on a Saturday or Sunday, but a few extra days at home was real nice, and it worked out good to where I only had to make less than half of the payment. Anyway, came out of Garland, went to Jackson, Mississippi, dropped the first part of the load, got there about 1 o'clock in the morning, and my appointment wasn't until 6. Well, they didn't open until 6, so, but there was parking there, so that worked out. Got unloaded, was out of there, pretty decent time frame, and headed to my next load, or to my next drop in Birmingham, Alabama. Was able to get there a good 10 hours early, or about 9 hours. Got there, called to check in. They said, well, we aren't going to open until 5 in the morning, so we will, we have your number. We'll give you a call whenever there's a door. Be expecting a call at 5 a.m. Okay, cool. Go. Find a place to sleep. There's a little mom and pop truck stop down the road, so instead of parking on the street, me and Ducky went to the truck stop, parked for the night. They tell me make sure you're up at 5, so you'll hear the phone call, or we'll just keep going down the list. Well, I was like, okay, well, I'll wake up about 4. I was waking up about 4:15. By 4:17, I was having a phone call. Hey, go to this dock door number, bring your paperwork inside, and go bobtail back out to the street. We'll call you when it's done. Thinking, all right, cool, 2 stops in a row coming out of the house. I'm getting in early. I'm gonna be through, pretty early. Already had a pre-plan. Good deal. Well, I took the trailer, dropped it, went back out to the street, killed the truck. Get a phone call. Hey, they called, they said that you need to back your trailer up a little bit further and make sure your tandems are slid. I said, well, my tandems are slid. And they said, well, they said that your trailer's too far away from the dock and you need to slide your tandems so they can unload you. Well, I already had slid my tandems. I do almost every time I'm in a dock, unless for some reason the trailer's acting up and I can't get them to slide. But, it's habit. I get out and slide the tandems. Not only does it make it easier to back into the dock, less room for error whenever they're backing up, especially the docks that don't have the locks on the bumper. And went back, and sure enough, whenever I pulled out from underneath the trailer, apparently I pulled the trailer out a little bit, because you don't jack it all the way down to where it puts tension on the fifth wheel. You use your airbag dump. Well, apparently my airbags hadn't dumped quite enough and pulled it forward, no problem. Well, hooked up to it, got it backed up, started raining as I was unhooking again, but double checked, made sure that it was back up against the dock. Tandems are slid back, no problem. Pull out, there, go to kill the truck. As soon as I kill the truck and start to get out, phone call. Hey, you need to come back and slide your tandems. The dock worker said that they need to be slid back. I said, well, they are slid back. Well, they're saying they're not. And I said, well, I've checked it. I said, I'm 99% sure that they're slid back. Like, has anybody actually went out there to go and look and check it? The lady says, yeah, they went and looked and said they aren't slid back. Well, at this point, I'm starting to get a little frustrated, because I've already this will be the third time I'm back at the dock, and I haven't even been able to, do my morning routines and do everything I was planning on doing when I woke up at 4 o'clock to get ready for this 5 a.m. phone call. But it is what it is, so I go back over there, and it's pouring down rain at this point, and, I get over there, and I go to call the lady, and right before I call, she calls me. And I was just like, hey, I was just about to call. Is there any way somebody can come out here and show me what the issue is? She said, well, the issue is that dock doesn't work. Now, this is a pretty tight dock, and it was a pain in the ass to get into. And at this point, now it's full of trailers and other trucks. And there's trucks that got there as I was dealing with the issues the first time. They're already coming back, and at least 2 trucks I saw had way more stuff than I did. I only had about a half a truckload because it was my second stop, and those were getting completely empty. And anyways, she said, well, that dock doesn't work. You have to, we need you to move down to dock 46, I think it was. Like, you gotta be kidding me. Well, and also, this whole time, these people are rude. Like, you can't even finish your conversation with them, and they hang up on you in the middle of the conversation while you're trying to ask questions or talk to them. But, anyway, get it moved. Thinking, okay, these other people got in and out of here quick. They know I've had issues. I'll still be out of here. Should be able to get to my pre-plan. Well, ended up being about 4.5 hours later. They finally got me unloaded. Got hooked up, had just enough time to get my pre-plan, went back to the mom and pop place to fill up the reefer. It was out of network, but I'm just going to get reefer fuel, move on down the road. Pumps aren't working. Go, tell dispatch, hey, this is my ETA. I found a truck stop that's closer to the place, or somewhat close to the place. It's out of route, but I have to go get fuel for the reefer before I drop this reefer. 10-4, they changed my appointment. Well, Qualcomm said that this truck stop distance from the destination originally, but it's 17 miles away. Okay, cool. That's what I based my ETA off of. Get there, get fuel, put in for the 01 location, 45 miles. So, needless to say, long story short, ended up being a little bit late, no issue. Go there, get loaded, head to Rogers, Arkansas. Get over to Rogers to drop and hook, drop that. I go into the shipping to get a trailer. We don't have any empty trailers. They showed me the list, showed me all the paperwork. There's probably about 10 loads that, waiting to leave that night, but I don't have a load from there. So I tell dispatch, hey, I can't get it empty. They send me back 10-4. Then they send me a message telling me pick up trailer number, yada yada. I pick it up. Well, actually, the trailer I have now. I go in to tell the guy, hey, I know you said you don't have any trailers, but they told me to take this empty off of your yard. And he tells me the same thing he told me before about I don't have any empties. And if you want to empty, somebody's gonna have to get with me, talk to me, and let me know, and I'll take it off of whatever load it's on, and you can take it then. So I wait about an hour and a half or so. Finally, they get all that done. And then filled it back up, but it had air in the lines, so I had to prime the reefer. Finally get all that done, go to my next stop, it's in Springdale, and get there, go across the scale, call the shipping department. They don't have part of the load. So now they tell me, Park, we'll give you a call back in a few minutes to tell you what's going on. Call me back, hey, we're closing at 8. Nobody will be here until Sunday. Sunday afternoon's the earliest that we'll have the rest of the product. You need to figure out something else to do. Now at this point, it's about probably 5 or 6 in the afternoon. There's a pilot that's about 3 miles away. It has 30 parking spots. It was full at 10 a.m. According to Trucker Path, it was still full. And there was a few mom and pop, but they didn't have much truck parking at all. And so I'm having to sit there and wait. Anyways, they decided to take me off the load, luckily. And, it messed it up because I was supposed to go to Oklahoma and I already had a pre-plan for the following day, pick up in Oklahoma and take me to Ohio. And on my way to Ohio, planned on stopping in Springfield and picking up, switching out my CPAP machine because I still need to do that. That was the plan. And, I knew that I was going to be making about $2,200 over the next 2.5 days, 3 days. So, it was frustrating. They gave me another load and it ended up working out. I cut probably about 300 or 400 miles off of what I was going to be doing between yesterday and the 25th. And I'm only making about $200 less on this load than what those 2 loads combined would have done. I don't get to go through Springfield yet. I'll have to do that sometime soon, but it worked out. Went over to Maricold, picked up this load, got loaded last night. I was low on hours, still trying to figure out what I was going to do about parking, because even where I was at, there was going to be about probably 60 miles from anything close as far as finding parking. It was going to be hard to find. They said no parking there, but whenever they got me loaded, they're about to close until Sunday also, or Monday. And the guy, I asked him, any spots around here where the truck could park? I know that there's a few truck stops, but they're all small, probably going to be full. Just trying to ask a local if he knows anywhere where trucks might park. He said, well, you can go up there on the hill and park. And we're not going to have much traffic. We're going to be closed tomorrow, so find you a spot up there out of the way. You can park up there for the night. So that worked out. I went and parked. I have quite a bit of time on this load. I hadn't been, I've been doing splits. I haven't really been sleeping good. Been dealing with a bunch of issues. I needed to just shut down, reset, my mind, my body, and get back in the groove. So I had enough time. I decided that I'm gonna park. I'm not gonna set my alarm. I'm just gonna go to sleep, wake up, get started in the morning. And that's exactly what I did. I went up there, went into sleeper berth, slept for probably 9 hours, which is great. For me, normally I sleep 4 to 6 hours, and that's about all I really need. And my body's like, hey, time to wake up, whatnot. But every once in a while, you got to have that good sleep. So I got me that good sleep in. Now I am headed down. I got this episode. Till next time, guys, y'all keep safe and keep trucking.